Alrighty, hello everybody. How are you all doing? Hope you're doing fine in chat there. Just gonna move this chair out of the way, which will be shortly filled in by an Emil, our game director. And let me fuss around the screen so I can see your chat. Woo! Stream hype. Actually, as if summoned by magic, like whatever insert horror movie in thing of choice, our game director has appeared. Emil, hello. I've literally just gone live this moment. Don't forget to put your headset on so they can hear you. So, yeah. So my name is Graham. If you haven't tuned in previous streams, shame on you. I'm the community manager of Generation Zero, and we're here to show off some shiny new stuff. Eventually, we'll get to that bit. But for now, you get to enjoy the lovely company of myself, Graham, and our game director, Emil.
Hello.
Yes, you may have also seen Emil before in previous streams, I think in our early ones. Recently, we've been super busy making the actual game, so we kind of took over a bit there. But you can scooch in this way a little bit more. Yeah, we're all friends here. Righty, let's bring up the Twitch chat so we can see all you awesome people talking. Make that smaller. Great. So we'll have lots of Q&A today. What we're going to be doing is myself and our ever community manager AC. That's her right there, rocking the awesome punk starter outfit. We're at Saltham. Some of you have played the beta will know that part, so we're kind of there-ish. We sped forward a little bit in the mission chain because you've seen the first bit so many times. So doing the latter bit now, we'll probably come across the latter half of the beta area, and then maybe we'll poke our nose across the next part a little, depending on how time goes. But we have had feedback, people don't want us spoiling too much, so this is why we're kind of hanging around in this like little sandpit, I guess, that you folks have already seen already. So let us know if you want to see more stuff up in the rest of the map, or rather keep it spoiler-free, and we can obviously take that into account for future streams. But for now, we're going to try and keep it somewhat spoiler-free, except for the thing that we're going to show you, which is, of course, awesome. I'm going to reach over there and grab my big thing of water. So yeah, you know the name, because that's what I called the stream after. It's called The Hunter.
It is indeed.
And towards the latter part of the stream, you'll get to see what that is. And it's personally my absolute favorite machine. Yourself, Emil, what did you say was your favorite?
I have to say I quite like it, yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. Let's see what we got going on in chat. Rain is rain, but looks rainy in Sweden. It's not rainy in Sweden right now. It's very snowy. It's hard rain, but no spoilers. Keep to beat the content. Have a sneak peek across the bridge at the end, but don't do anything there. Yeah, we could do that, please. No, please don't show new stuff. Mostly spoiler-free.
Well,
just
don't watch.
Yeah, the best way to stop spoilers is to switch off, but we don't want you to do that either. So we'll try and find a nice middle ground.
But seriously, this thing, if you don't want spoilers, you want to sort of come across this unknowingly in a dark forest.
Yes, that is true. I think seeing one of those for the first time in its natural environment would be a good one. So maybe like watch like this or something. Yeah.
Pretend that you're playing.
Can't hear you guys. Can't hear the other guy. Very low audio. What about now?
Hello, hello.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Well, I can't hear you either.
Yeah. Turn up the volume, please. What about now? We're talking, Emil. Yeah, there we go. Much better.
Much better. Okay.
Good stuff. Right, let's start doing some stuff. So, Emil, for your benefit, this is our lovely Twitch chat people.
Yep.
This is our lovely Mixer chat people.
Hello,
if you see anything
Twitch
that
and Mixer
takes your interest, feel free to butt in and answer a question if you see them.
Yep.
Hello from New York City. Hello from Stockholm, Sweden. Righty, so I'm rocking a nice... Oh, don't want to press that one. That's a steam overlay. Rocking the nice HK5. I do like this submachine gun. I like the submachine guns in general, actually, in this game. Due to doing the start parts, I've always been using just the, old Bertan and the hunting rifle, but now I kind of fixed it for myself before the stream. And what else am I carrying? I got old Bertan. She's always with me. And
she's old, though.
And a pistol. She is old. Yeah, dilapidated, in fact.
Yeah.
Those of you who don't know, you may know this already, weapons come in different qualities. Old Bertan is dilapidated shotgun. So she's seen some rough times. You can see in the image there she's looking a bit rusty and worn out. Actually, I've just noticed something that I'm going to want to fix. I'm going to pop that open quickly and go over here. Sorry, I'm just fiddling with some stuff.
I'll check the chat. Is there gonna be more beta playing before it comes out? We haven't announced any more betas, at least. That's all you know for now.
Yeah, that's all we can say for now. Okay, now that looks much better. I can take away our secret dev tool privacy screen thing. We had all sorts of ugly numbers across the top, so now I've fixed that for you. Are you guys also going to Epic Games Store? We haven't really confirmed or denied as yet. It's quite new to us as it is to you folks, so we'll see where that goes.
Any price on the game? Yes, there is. We have a pricing of $34.99 dollars and euros, I guess, on PC. $39.99 if you're on console.
Yes. For those of you wondering what this big one is floating in the distance, that's where we're going later. So we're going to go all the way over to here. In
Whoa!
fact, yes,
that's halfway through the map.
it is. But we're gonna take a taxi. We're gonna dodge all the stuff in between. Don't worry. It's a particularly nice little area, I thought, to show off the hunters. Well, not me. Our awesome QA Francis has done some scouting for nice areas to show things off. So we're gonna go and check that out. So now we're off to the football field to see where the survivors are at, basically. Again, those who play the beta should be familiar with this bit.
Will there be long-time support plus additional content sometime down the road? We haven't announced the specifics of it, but we have definitely confirmed that we plan to support this game in many ways post-launch. We see the launch as the beginning in many ways, where we have this opportunity to really continue providing experiences for you in this world. But more about that later. But this is not a game that we're gonna release and then just take off in some different direction.
You better not. I'm too much fun with that.
Will there be any funny Easter eggs in the game? Yes. Well, funny. That's all in the eye of the beholder, I guess. But we at Avalanche we like Easter eggs.
Ouch! That one has a shotgun.
We do, and there will definitely be some in this game as well.
No. Oh dear, I've knocked his gun off now, so now he's going to want to melee me. No melee for you. Oh jeez, I need to take out this.
So interesting for those of you who didn't notice for yourself when playing the beta, or didn't play the beta, why didn't you? If you shoot off an enemy's weapon, they will resort to trying to actually jump you.
Like that. Oh, AC saved my bacon right there, though. So many thanks, AC. Okay, that was a bit intense.
Oh, there's lots of questions. Should I just fire away at answering them?
You just go nuts.
Okay, let's see what we had. What's the plan regarding vehicles? Well, as we're not talking about the plans, there's not going to be any drivable vehicles in the base game. That would be dangerous because they sound a lot. But you can blow up all the vehicles, or most of the vehicles you find, which is really much more fun than driving them.
They do make excellent bombs.
Yes, setting traps with vehicles is very efficient.
Yay,
Will it release on Xbox Game Preview program? No. We are not doing early access either. We want to release this as a we call it a premium game. Will it also release on Game Pass? Well, that's just too early to say anything about at this point. We want to release the game first.
Get up there, Graham. There you go.
And then more stuff that is too soon to talk about. Any ideas of weapon skins, for instance? Well, anything in terms of what we release post-launch, we will talk about more
Yeah, but they're
as,
going to
as
ask.
we approach launch. But we obviously we want to gauge your interest as well. I mean, we definitely want to work closely with the community in what we do and how we sort of take the experience further. So please, by all means, hammer us with your suggestions.
As I said in the Call of Wild stream, our other game, the self-published here at Avalanche, for those you don't know, anything that we don't talk about now, I will always take as a suggestion, put it that way. So don't be afraid to say it, even if we don't comment on it now, we don't say yes, no. It might already be being made, or it might just be taken on board into our being filed as a suggestion thing. So fear not. Right, let's see. Locate the military base in Vestland. Well, let's go for an explore, shall we?
They want you to lower your mouse sensitivity.
You want me to lower my mouse sensitivity?
How are you ever going to be accurate while aiming?
This is the thing. I know, good players play with low mouse, and you go like this, but I'm old. Actually, I will actually take it down a little bit, because it's a little bit high.
Any idea of a rough release date? The only thing that we've said so far is 2019. 2019 is obviously a large span, but we'll come back to you in the future about actual release date.
Yes.
If you die, what happens? If you die, if you are playing co-op, your friends can revive you, unless they die as well. When you die, you can respawn at what we call safe houses that are spread around the world that you can discover, unlock, and then you will be able to respawn there. You will be able to fast travel there as well. You can also find certain items that lets you revive on the spot. Very handy if you're playing solo, which we very much want to encourage solo players to play this game as well. This is not a co-op only game.
Correct.
Speaking of, speaking of Call of the Wild, great job on the new map and bug fixes.
Ooh, thank you
very much.
Nice to hear that you enjoy. Park Fernando is called.
Yes. It looks very exciting. I haven't played it myself yet, though I was part of the original Call of the Wild team, as were many people on Gen Zero.
You have been here a while, haven't you, Emil?
Yes.
Yes. Part of the furniture now. Where's AC? Here she comes.
Will there be a Swedish localization? Voice, text, GUI, and so on. There will not be a full Swedish localization, so you can't change menu, texts, and everything to Swedish. We will localize to many other languages, though. But since it takes place in Sweden and we want to stay authentic, we are planning to have a lot of actual Swedish content that will be translated or subtitled for international players, or they can choose to have non-Swedish versions of those things. But we want to keep it authentic, and part of that is having actual Swedish content.
So what's this, Emil?
This is a milestone, which several other countries have them as well. They are placed along the roads to sort of dictate distance, and reading up on them, they actually originate from the royal castle in Stockholm. That's the sort of origin point for measurement of these miles.
Why is it not a kilometer stone?
Well, it's a Scandinavian mile, which is 10 kilometers.
Yes.
None of the weird imperial stuff. Are there going to be modding tools? No, not really. Not in the sense of that you probably mean when you talk about modding tools. We haven't done that for any of our previous games at Avalanche. That hasn't stopped people from actually providing pretty awesome mods. So if you're awesome, you can do awesome stuff. But it's
not like we're going to make a ready packaged out the box.
No, we're not releasing the editor or so. It's not really in a way that anyone could just take it and play with it and do stuff.
It's a shame it was snowing just before the stream, and it looked so pretty, and I was like, I want to go live now, but I had to fix some things. But the snow looks awesome. It's really nice.
Yeah, I really like the snow system. It's the way it's dynamic. When it starts snowing, it will gradually actually build up snow in the landscape, and if it stops snowing, it would gradually start to thaw away again. But it can just it's very accurate to the November setting.
Oh, I need to just
Ban a guy.
well, not ban, but
Kick.
fix something on Mixer. I think our darling Pixel needs to be made a moderator because he's awesome. There you go, Pixel. You're now a moderator. Let's fix this nasty person.
More questions. It's a co-op game, but if you play with friend and your friend go play alone, he can play alone with the same character as co-op. Yes. So you create a character, and then you can play on your own with that character. You can invite some friends to play for a while, and they can leave, and you can continue playing on your own, or you can bring that character and join someone else's game, do a bunch of stuff, get all the benefits from that stuff, and go back to playing your solo game. And you can also have multiple characters to switch in between if you prefer. If you have, say, you have a sniper defined character with skills and weapons preferred to a sniper, you like to play that on your own, but when you play with your friends, well, all three of them are also snipers, so you actually have a second character you created, which is more of a medic or whatever you prefer, to sort of compose the best possible group.
Let's just take a moment to appreciate how pretty that is. It's so nice with the sun coming through the trees. I remember the sun. We used to get that in Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're at that point of the year where you don't see it so often now.
It's sort of, when you live here, you have to live here through a summer first, so you can soak up on all the insane amounts of light that you get in summer.
Yes.
In order to make it through the winter.
But the thing is, moderation, you know, it's good to have it spread out over the... Well, no. Sort of like this binge starve thing you have going on. I just came back from the Caribbean,
builds character,
so I'm fine.
Graham.
Yeah, true. So yeah, I'm not going to go running around like a homing missile from point to point as if I know everything already, because that would be kind of boring to watch. So I'm just kind of explorating, saying, "Oh, what's down here?" type thing. If we happen to proceed in the quest, then we happen to do that mission. Sorry. Otherwise, we don't. Quest. Playing too much World of Warcraft there, Graham.
I have a question on the skill trees, whether you can level up all of them for one character. You will not be able to. There's a sort of... you will be able to level up a lot of it, but you can't max it all out on one character. So in that sense, if you want to get everything, you might want 2 different characters.
Yes. I do like me some XP multiplying type skills. All about that min-maxing me. Straight for the XP buff skill every time.
It's convenient.
Yes. You're not hearing the eerie music in your headset. You don't get any game sounds there, but it's like...
Well, I know.
It's like... It's very... Yeah. We've been getting a lot of really nice feedback about the music. Maybe you want to tell them how we work with sound design and who does our theme and all that kind of thing, because I don't think we've gone too much into that.
Yeah, so we've had actually 2 people working on it. We had a director for a while, and then we've had a sound designer. And our director set a lot of the general mood of how should things sound, how should the enemies sound, looking at the environments, what kind of ambience do we want? We want people to feel like they are moving through a world that is dangerous. This is a dangerous setting. You are an underdog in the world. That should come across in the kind of sounds you hear, and perhaps be amplified during night. You should feel even more tense and the sense of something ominous going on. This also obviously translates into music. We are working with a composer that's called Mats Lundgren, a fantastic composer. We've worked with him a lot in the past on Avalanche. He did the music for Just Cause 2. He did the music for Mad Max, a fantastic soundtrack that gets far too little credit. That's this time I think he's sort of outdone himself. the soundtrack is really, really great. Especially, it just combines these aspects of the 80s, obviously, this sort of ominous world and landscape, the atmosphere of it, and also the fact that you actually wage a guerrilla war. So it has these beats when you go into combat that is meant to get your heart racing.
Sorry. Speaking of which, a runner just came flying out the bush towards me. Those who might wonder why I flicked towards the background there, the screen had locked up and I knew an error message was going to come up because I'm using a dev build here, so we get extra kind of bug reporting comes in, which is not necessarily something you want to see. So I just flicked that away so I could clear it out afterwards. But yeah, I love the sound in this game. It's awesome, and that's you know bias and stuff. But still, I'm a gamer, and I know good sound when I'm playing a game. We've been asked about the beta once before already. We got nothing really more to say on that right now. Should it happen, you'll of course be first to hear about it if you follow all our social medias and all that good stuff.
Do you have Discord channel? Yes, we have.
We do. Our awesome mod Pixel. Could you do us a favor and stick it in chat there for us, please? That would be wonderful.
What about tracking other player locations who are out of sight? We are still looking at, or we have been looking at the best ways to solve that. Whether we want always visible icons and names available on screen. I don't know if we've nailed down exactly what we want to do, but we want to make it easy for you to find your friends. This is not it's not competitive in any aspect. So we really want people to be able to work good together, and part of that is to being able to find each other and see each other. So you will see each other on the map. You will see the other players' markers, for instance, and you will be able to set markers on the map yourself that other players can see. Every player can set their own markers. You can have one per player, basically.
Looks like they had a bad time of it here. Didn't look like things went well for these folks.
Please, no microtransactions. Okay.
Personally, I mean, as a gamer myself, again, mentioning, I quite like microtransactions. I'm not saying this has nothing to do with the product now, but I like the fact I can say I want that thing, but don't want that thing. I think the issue is that people think they have to have everything, and then they kind of get frustrated when they can't. I don't know. But me, I'd rather do that than buy a big DLC with stuff that I don't want. But that's me going off topic. But look at the nice water there.
Can you hack the robots? Maybe.
Why not add a teleport method to friends? Well, we have these.
Yes, so we have, obviously we have fast traveling to safe houses, but we also have fast traveling to what we call field radios that you can find in the world. You place them, and then for a number of times you can then fast travel to there, or anyone in your party can fast travel there. So very good when you're setting up an ambush or going into a difficult location to sort of have that local respawn point.
There was some creative use of them during the beta, wasn't there?
Yes, someone very cunningly used them to cross outside of the playable area and very patiently travel the world 8 meters at a time, I think.
Yeah,
by
say what
use
you
of
like about
field radios.
gamers, but we are a patient breed. I saw a thing.
Will the fast travel thing despawn? It will despawn after its specific number of uses have been used up.
I want to get this one. I don't like microtransactions. I want everything in the game from the beginning. This is like where the thing gets strange, because everything is on the game in the beginning. Microtransactions generally are added gravy you make after the game is out. So, I mean, it's more like, I have this delicious meal and now I can have extra dessert instead of we held half the meal from you, let's say. Generally, when a game comes out, it's like what's ready to be there is out, and microtransactions for some games allow them to continue doing stuff at a later stage. Like at Avalanche so far, for Call of Wild, we prefer to do things through DLCs, for example, which I think is going to be somewhat similar to how we're looking at.
Yeah, it depends again also on what kind of reaction we get from you guys.
Precisely. I mean, that's the important thing. Oh, jeez. Alright. That's awful shooting there. Maybe I should sight in.
If we play with friends, AI have more life, or are they more numerous to avoid easy game co-op? Actually, at the moment, it's balanced in the way that the difficulty level is all based on geography. So different places will be more difficult, regardless of how many players you are. So maybe some areas you will be able to go into much sooner or have an easier time if you're with friends. But playing on your own, you might have to stock up a bit, prepare a bit more. So it in the general sense, it will be a slightly harder game if you play on your own. But that's also usually how solo players prefer it. Or I'm talking for myself mostly. Obviously, we're ready to tweak and balance depending on what we find or what you guys find.
Yep.
But that's how it's set up now. So it's no automatic balancing or leveling, and nothing tied to your level as well, so that the game doesn't level up with you from the start. Certain areas are just, you won't be able to go there unless you're really, really clever or smart or have something with you.
I quite like that in games when they're kind of set up like that, because I take quite... It's back to, I mentioned earlier, I play World of Warcraft. The first time I played it, I ended up... I'm completely new to MMOs, ran off in a random direction, let's see what's over here, just died and died and died. But, you know, it felt cool still, because I was exploring new stuff, and even though I wasn't exactly being a power gamer and achieving anything, the experience was fun, so, yeah.
Will you be able to play the game offline? Yes, I believe you will. You can play it offline.
Again, those of you coming in late, just in case you weren't here at the beginning, person to my right talking right now is Emil, our game director. And of those of you who are really new and don't know who I am either, I'm Graham, I'm the community manager. So you've seen me a bunch in the streams. Emil comes in when he has time, not game directoring. So, yes.
That's the proper verb.
It is now. You know, language is an evolving thing. It is what you make it.
Will there be any trading between players in-game? Yes, you can absolutely. You can drop stuff on the ground from your inventory, and some other player can pick it up. So, for instance, all of your loot is instanced. So you might not get the same stuff even if you're looting in the same place. So if you're a sniper player and you get a great grenade launcher, and your friend is a grenade launcher player and get a great sniper rifle, you can actually switch out to maximize how good you are as a team.
And I really like that as well, because I like to play online co-op games, but the one thing that tends to get irritating is when you're playing a game where you're like, yay, we killed the thing, and everyone just goes, rah, and like rushes towards stuff to snag as much loot as they can, whereas, yeah, personally, where stuff is instanced individually, I do like that. I mean, you do find set items around the world, don't we? There is always a certain
there are some things that are tied to missions, or they are just tied to locations specifically that are specific rewards. You will all get those things, but there are also a lot of loot containers that are instanced, and you will be able to get different things.
I want to drive this, Emil.
Yes.
Although, to be fair, there's been a few exploded ones around. Maybe they're not as safe as they look.
Obviously they didn't do too well against the enemies.
Yeah, I'm guessing a tank came along and asserted its authority. I am the superior machine.
Well, I mean, it is obviously modeled in the likeness of an actual Swedish army tank called the S-103, I believe. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm sure they will.
That was a very fascinating Swedish tank during the Cold War. That was almost like a lot of things in the Swedish military. It was built so purposefully for defense, for defending its place. It could burrow itself, or like put in a defensive position, waiting for an attack, fire its shot, and then reverse at the same speed that it can go forward.
Now
just
that
to
is cunning.
back up, set up a new defensive position, and wait for the continued assault.
It's basically a sniper tank, I guess, thinking about it.
Yeah, sort of. Very
obviously,
it has a removed. It doesn't have a turnable turret, which, I mean, people who play World of Tanks probably know this already.
Tank destroyers.
But it's a lot. There's so many fascinating aspect like that about the Swedish army during the Cold War, because it was very often specifically constructed for the specific purpose of defending this piece of land against an adversary, not to be named. And there was so many creative and specific solutions that you wouldn't see in many other armies at the time.
I mean, we mentioned, for example, these readiness bunkers that are located around the map you might come across, for example.
Yeah, so actually there was a huge effort to build shelters and bunkers and underground locations out of the fear of obviously nuclear or biological or chemical attacks that were in large enough numbers to shelter almost the entire population. By the end of the 80s, there were like almost 50,000 underground shelters just for the civilian population, maintaining functionality, and there were factories underground, and there were obviously military bases underground. Really combining sort of the Swedish landscape and nature that is pretty much all bedrock. It was a fantastic just situation of building these underground shelters that you probably wouldn't be able to do in other countries as well. I think only Switzerland had a higher ratio of shelters to population than Sweden did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm veering off in sort of history nerd.
No, but that's interesting. I mean, this is the kind of thing that makes you interesting as the game director being here, because you're the one who kind of helps come up with the concept about the hows and the whys, and you know, the history is an important part of the game, isn't it? I mean, the setting is.
It is very much, and it is wanting to tell a story. I mean, there's reasons why we put it in Sweden in the 80s, and a lot of that is just we grew up there, so we know a lot of these things, but there was this atmosphere and setting in Sweden at the time and throughout the Cold War where there was so much preparation. Everyone expected the war to come, and we sort of guessed where it would come from, and the entire the community, the entire country was just preparing in different ways. And all of those things would remain to be found if you were, like when I was a kid and was out playing, there was always this sense of, or you could see the hints of this happening. So you would be able to find these different shelters and bunkers, weird doors just in stone walls in the middle of the forest.
Like stuff like this. Like obviously
what did you find?
A dock or a submarine pen or something? Just trying to wait for AC to find a way to me. I went mountaineering. So.
Okay, questions. Does the weather influence the AI movement and behavior? It does. It definitely influences their behavior. It influences their senses. So enemies have eyesight, except it's not eyes. They have a form of hearing. So depending on how fast you move, when you move through vegetation, what stance you're in, you will be differently visible to them or audible to them. And the weather definitely plays into that. So as does time of day. If it's foggy or rainy or dark, they will not see you as well unless they have the components necessary to do so.
I mean, it's just started raining whilst you were talking just a minute ago, for example. I mean, it's...
Rain makes a bit of noise, and it also obscures slightly. Are there side quests? Yes. We don't specifically call them side quests, but it is what you would probably mean by side quest. It's things that you find out in the world that are just isolated missions tied to something in a specific area. It's not chained with other missions or that. You find them and you can complete them, and there's some reward involved.
What are these?
What are these indeed? They look
different.
Dangerous.
They do. AC, I think we're going to go over this way though, because I'm going to show you those somewhere else.
Aha.
Yes. We'll leave those be for now because they look scary.
How does co-op story mode work? If I start with 4 players and then continue with 2, how will the story get impacted? Well, we have missions, obviously. Some missions tell some of the backstory or some of the story. If you play together with others, if you're all sort of aligned, you've completed any previous necessary required missions. There aren't that many that are required. You will progress together, and if you go back and play on your own, you will still have all the progression that you individually got. You can join someone else who has come much further, and you can play the missions together with them, but you will not sort of save that progress back with you when you go back and play on your own.
It'd be kind of annoying to join a game and then just have all of your missions auto-complete.
Yes. So basically, what we've tried to accomplish is the sense of everything I do matters. So everything I do when I play should be saved. But when it comes to missions, if there are prerequisite missions and you haven't played those, it became impossible to actually unlock those missions, and then you would have to go back and do the interim missions. It would just be confusing for you as a player.
Right, I'm going to pop this open, and then I can go and travel to where we want to show you these things off.
Oh my god, all the awesome stuff that I see right now.
It's gonna happen. Yes. I'd be disappointed if there aren't any ABBA Easter eggs.
Well, I actually don't know all of the Easter eggs. The team can get creative on their
Yeah. There's been some stories, actually, where Easter eggs appear 15 years down the line, and people are like, oh, yeah, that thing.
Well, players are obviously great at finding Easter eggs. They are right now working through all of the ones we had in JC4.
I have to flick this on, sorry, because now it's snowing.
It looks
and
like
it's so
outside.
beautiful. It looks like outside right now.
There are some Easter eggs that I know of in past games that have never been found. There's one in particular in Mad Max I have never seen anyone find. And it ties into Sweden, incidentally. Now all of the people in the chat are going to go play Mad Max.
Oh dear.
It's a great game. Worked on it.
Over there? What are they over there, in fact? Yeah, they look big and
Don't
stompy.
go that way.
We won't go that way. But okay, I just flicked the screen off. I'm still setting up. I just want you to see the snow whilst it was there. So
yeah.
Let's get to where we wanted to go.
Some mentions of FPS drops, but I think that might be stream related, though. I'm not seeing any FPS.
It's probably
drops
stream related, yeah. I mean, the internet is the internet. So this is annoying. The little spot where I wanted to show you off the hunters, it's been invaded by tanks. This is the issue when you have randomly roaming machines. What there wasn't normally, there is now, because I found a really nice little area I could fight them in, but I don't want to fight.
You can still fight them, but it will be more difficult.
It will be a lot more difficult fighting 2 tanks and hunters at the same time.
The interesting thing about it is that you can sort of play out enemies against each other. Maybe someone tried that in the beta already. With the tank, they have these rocket barrages, and you can kind of trick them into firing at your position and move out, and other enemies come in and they will get taken out.
Yeah. They're actually patrolling on past, so maybe we can just answer some questions and let them go about their tanky business doing what it is that tanks do.
Does the snow stick to the ground or just disappear when it hits? What will happen is that, yeah, if for all intents and purposes it sticks to the ground. It sticks to everything, and it gradually increases, and it will get more and more snowy on the ground, in the trees, on roofs and things. It's really quite nifty. It looks fantastic. If we had like a time lapse or sped up time, you would actually see it build up in a very nice way.
We can do that, but I'm not going to learn how to work the dev tools on the fly whilst on stream. So, okay, I think our tanks are slowly wandering away.
Will there be an option to trade cosmetic items between friends or the players? So the cosmetic items or the apparel items right now, I believe, is tied to your character. So that's not something you can actually switch out. We we'll have a look at how that plays out, I guess. If people find that they really want to switch out things, maybe that's something we can add, but it's not something that we have planned, I believe, at this point. But inventory items you can definitely switch around.
Sorry, I cut you off there. Did Snow have volume or just shader? That sounds like a dev kind of thing.
Does it have volume or just shader? Well, I guess the theoretical answer to that is it has shader. It doesn't build up volumetric snow.
So you won't be wading through your waist.
No, that would be pretty cool, but we could only get so far with our budget. No, and that's a solution like that would have cost a lot more in terms of performance.
Yeah, so it's tech budget as well, isn't it? We have to bear in mind what people can run. So we love to throw all the eye candy in the world at you, but then only 3 of you could play it.
Yeah.
I did see something else. Yeah, there you go. Can you show a time lapse of snow in a video in the future, like on social media pages? That sounds like an amazing idea. I will actually get a request.
Yeah.
We can just do like a little video show reel type thing of weather effects and stuff.
And the same is true or the same, but similar is true for rain. So when it rains for a long time, puddles will build up. Puddles, fantastic game feature.
Yes, puddles. There's been a lot of talk about those recently. We have puddles, people.
Yeah, and there will be actual puddles in the game. Well, they come and go, but...
Right, that's we're almost ready to get going, I think. So, I think what I'm going to do first is we'll spawn these machines in so you can take a good look at them. Let them just roam around, and then we can see what happens when we try and fight them. Where are we?
Are you able to permanently clear out areas by killing all the enemies, or are the roaming enemies going to react to that and move in on that position? Well, here's how it what would happen. You can't kill all the enemies of the world. New ones will appear from somewhere. Who knows where? But you can definitely make an impact. At least and definitely in the short term on a certain area. It will be you can access a house or something that you wanted for loot before things start coming in, unless there are things like the Seekers, which we have shown before, I'm sure, which is an enemy type that basically it's like a scouting enemy. So if it sees you, it will sound an alarm and that will alert nearby enemies. And more advanced Seekers will be better at alerting enemies that are further away from you. So in that sense, they are a good target to take out first.
Right, so I've got some dev shenanigans turned on here, just so that you can actually see stuff without us immediately dying, because these are a very tough fight. So let's flip stuff on and let you see what we're looking at here. So these here... Oh, I love that move. It's so cool. These are the Hunter. So, tell us about the Hunter, Emil.
Yes, the Hunter is a dangerous, medium-sized enemy, and they are good at hunting, specifically hunting you. They are sort of search and destroy type of enemy that are very powerful, they are very fast, they are sort of stealthy, and they like to work in packs.
Yes.
So they have some group tactics that are that tests your skills. They can have a variety of different weapons, a variety of different sensory equipment. They come in differently armored versions as well. These are the easy ones. And they also have this sort of 1 meter pneumatic blade on the right arm, which they like to use if you come too close, or they will close the distance for you.
Okay, or that tank can fire a rocket salvo at it. That's always very nice, Mr. Tank. Miss Tank, thank you very much. So again, we have some dev shenanigans turned on here, which is why we're not dying horribly right now. We just want you to be able to see them without all the chaos that comes with it. Particularly seeing as we have a roaming tank to invite itself to the party. But I think we've managed to get out of the way of that.
Yeah, so these are much more a sense of an intelligent enemy compared to, for instance, the runners, who are more like they swarm at you, but these have tactics. They will try to hide from you. They will try to set their own sort of tactical ambushes.
What I've been described at when we talk about them internally is you think of them as like raptors from Jurassic Park. You know, you'll have...
Yeah, I mean, if the tank, that's what we always said, if the tank is our T-Rex, then the hunters are our raptors.
Yes.
And they can be really, really scary, especially when you face them in packs, in the middle of a forest. You didn't hear them until you're really close. Sometimes, actually, they find you before you find them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna... I mean, people have been getting jump scared by ticks. Wait till one of these things jumps out the woods. Right, I'm gonna go and take us to another spot just so we can get away from the tank, which will make it very difficult to actually try and do anything. So we're gonna go back to a nice open expanse. Yeah, near the initial start area.
If you are in a house, can the hunter destroy the house to kill you? Well, as much as we wanted to do destruction, we love destruction. That was also when we talk about the budgets, both the financial budget and the performance budget didn't really allow that. So no, they can't, but they might have other tricks up their sleeve when it comes to flushing you out of hiding positions, including in houses.
Right, let's wait for AC to catch up with me, and we'll spawn in a bunch and see what happens.
Are the hunters going to be regulated to the, in a sense, higher level areas, or are they sparsely populated around the entire in-game world? As all the enemies, they are continuously simulated. So there will be, when you're on one side of the map, on the other side of the map there will exist a group of hunters that roam the world looking for things, looking for you.
For example, the tanks we just came across now, which were not anywhere to be seen when I was testing the stream setup earlier.
Yes.
Yes.
So they will be distributed around the world. It's obviously a more difficult enemy than say the runners. So they will be in more difficult areas. There will not be that many of them in the starting area, for instance. And again, all the enemies come in different levels as well, or different varieties. So the ones you've seen in the beta, the ones you see here, usually, or at this point, we're showing the lowest tier of the enemies. So there will be different looking enemies or different looking varieties of enemies that we have shown
with different equipment,
different weapons, and different amount of armor plating, for instance.
That's a good comment right there. I really like how you know your limitations and don't promise things you can't hold. Really good dev team. Nice. I mean, I think everyone here wants to do everything at the same time. I mean, part of the job of a game director is to tell all your devs no on a daily basis. So,
I have a good accomplice in our executive producer.
Yes, who also
Tobias.
tells you no.
He tells me no, so I hate him for that, but I love him for many other things.
Right, I'm going to just spawn some hunters as a pack, and I'll switch over. You can continue talking. Sorry. Sorry.
You're supposed to show the...
That was a thing. Okay, so we have 3 of them here. Again, we have some extra health going on, so we're not dying. But they will traditionally fight in a pack, so these 2 are both coming at me, while the back one is kind of just laying down covering fire, I guess. Let's actually see how much of a beating they'll take. I mean, AC has got a pretty good shotgun there, I think.
You're still old betting it.
I was old betting it, yeah.
This will be a better choice. Again, like all enemies, these have specific components that you can individually target for better effect. Just shooting at some like metallic leg piece that doesn't have any specific components will take you much longer to down the enemy than if you hit its processing unit or its fuel cell tanks or something of that kind.
I'm going to try and do something that might work badly. Let's see. See if I can bait them over once that flare's gone out. Because they do like to melee you, so maybe, just maybe, I can... Oh, no, I shouldn't have put it in long grass where I can't see it, should I?
If you run on the grass,
that's true,
you
yeah.
should
This is
trample it
another
down.
great feature of our game. Those
There
of
you
you who
go.
don't know, the grass deforms when you're running around
that's,
it, which
that's
is
some emergent gameplay for it.
pretty neat. There you go, game director tactics. AC, bring them over here. Oh, they're still going off of that flare, so...
Yeah, so flares are really useful. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
So what Graham did there was aiming at its head, if that is indeed what it is, where it has a lot of sensitive components which will deal a lot of damage.
Should the flare be running that long?
It should have run out by now, I feel.
Yeah, we are
That
we are
feels like
again
a bug.
playing a dev build of the game right now. So we have, which is why both of these are misbehaving. But give us a really good chance of getting up close. Look! Oh, no. Okay, I thought it went off.
Yeah,
Give us
so
a
they
really
will
good
see the
chance
flare as
to-
a target, but potentially they could switch to you if,
Yes!
if you're more of a target than the flare is.
Okay, yeah. But this gives us a great chance to get a nice up-close look at them. And I just love everything about the design. They look awesome. The animations, the visuals of the whole thing, it's super cool.
Can you turn off the dev health so we can see how fast you die from them?
I actually thought to do that, but I didn't want to just flick straight back to a background screen again and be all boring and stuff. But I'm going to run off in the bushes over here. AC can keep them occupied. I'll heal up, and we'll see what happens when I get horribly murdered, shall I? I might need to spawn some more if that flare is in fact bugged on this build, though. So we'll perhaps run over this way instead, and I'll get a one-on-one with a hunter. This looks to be as good a spot as any. Right, I'll just flip up my background here, and I can bring up the ugly stuff. Right, I have to be quick because this thing is going to wreck me like in a second. Emil, could I please click on that one there, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh.
Okay, so there you saw how much hit points that took.
You want to try and avoid the jump attack.
Yes. I'm gonna die absolutely horribly here. I need to. I've gotten so complacent with having the sneaky.
Oh, you haven't touched any headbutt, kids! Oh my god! The game keeps running when you're in the inventory because it's a live co-op game.
It does. Yeah, there is no pause. Okay, thankfully AC got his attention.
Good luck, Graham. My bet
Come
is
over
on
and
the
hit me.
hunter owning you.
Come over and hit me. Go on. Maybe we've actually potentially broken its arm actually at this stage. Shot it. Oh no, it works.
Yep.
I do have
you
an
do
adrenaline
have an
shot.
adrenaline shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I can get out of there pretty quickly. Let's oh, see, this is that flanking behavior they're doing right now. It's running off into the woods where I can't find it.
Yeah,
It's
they
probably
have some. They have some tactics. They have some hiding behaviors.
Oh, come on, it ran straight past her for me. Is it something I said, or... Oh dear, it melees you on the floor as well. That's just savage, Emil.
Maybe you should have upgraded your running speed instead of your XP.
Maybe I should have done that. That would be very handy when dealing with such a mobile enemy type. I did have a grenade somewhere. Let's see how they fare against a grenade. Oh, we got runners have joined the party.
Yeah, probably attracted by the noise.
Oh, I threw that way too far. Oh no, I didn't.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Nice.
well that worked,
Yeah.
but it already taken quite a beat. Oh, my health is at 2. I can just hear swords everywhere. No, no.
Is AC
Go on,
alive?
AC. You can do it. You can do it, AC. I think she's actually still has magic death health on, so yeah. Anyway, that actually brings us almost to the end of the stream, so we can flick back to the background image, and we can close this so you can hear what we're doing, because the combat's all got pretty crazy right now.
Question on late game or post game content. As we said before, there will definitely be post game content. We want to keep the experience going for as long as you find it fun and cool to play. We are not going into specifics, but just good to know that we definitely intend to support the game a lot after launch.
I like that comment there. So this is how the military failed. I was wondering why a bunch of runners took down the military. It wasn't just the runners. I mean, you've seen now the tanks, the harvesters, and the now the hunters. And you've only seen them in a kind of capsule right now. You haven't seen them as they interact together against you as a force as well, which is something to think about. You won't just see hunters on their own. They might be flanked with runners and maybe have some seekers telling these hunters where you are. There could be a tank in the background dropping things on your face from afar. Yeah, they're quite a formidable force.
And you'll have some interesting moments where you're in a fight against runners and other things, and then you just barely make it out. You run away. You've done some good damage, and then you just run through the forest and run into a group of hunters that you didn't know were there.
Yeah.
And you're just, F word.
Oh, Fred. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we will be wrapping up shortly, so do throw out any last-minute questions if you have them. Otherwise, this will be a little bit of a kind of intermission in our streaming whilst we have the holidays coming upon us. So the devs will be relaxing and refilling the creative juices, Yulmust specifically, or whatever. I love
mustard.
And mustard.
It's my personal favorite, but Yulmust, obviously. It's a must.
Mustard with Yulmust, Emil.
What it is?
You're trying to fool like the immigrant guy here. Yes, we have mustard with Yulmust in Sweden.
No. Mustard is an essential part of the holiday.
Yes.
Cuisine.
Yes, indeed. But for those who know what Julmust is, it's a drink you have just at Christmas time, or they relabel it and call it påskmust at Easter. And I think interesting fun fact, Sweden is one of the few countries in the world that actually Coca-Cola take a profit loss during the holiday season because it's that good a drink. This is now the Julmust stream, by the way, everybody. Those of you who like Generation Zero, too bad.
And it originated in my hometown.
Oh, it did?
Örebro, yes.
Oh, okay.
Which is also an area that has been greatly inspirational to a lot of the locations in the game.
Well, double thanks to your friends, family, and distant relatives then, because you brought us Julmust and an awesome game setting. Make sure you write down your ideas you commit while you're celebrating. Thank you for your work, Avalanche Studios. Have a nice Christmas. We'll see Julmust in the game. That's big stuff. Maybe that could be like a seasonal event.
Yeah,
you
like
go Julmust hunting.
Yeah. You can create Molotov cocktails out of Julmust.
That'll be Apothekar's bottle. Yeah. I still can't pronounce that word.
is the best one, indeed. I agree.
I don't know. There's a nice one that I've been buying at Kaiserwei from some little briggeria thing, and it's very nice. But yes, fancy Julmust. Just a quick silly question with the collectibles. We'll be able to display them in game, say as a charm to hang off your belt or weapon. That would be super cool, but I don't think there's plans for that just yet. Well, that we can talk about at least.
No, not as such.
Ray tracing. See, this is one I've been asked about for Call the Wild as well. Maybe you can explain about our engine and how things work with that.
Well, it's we are working on an engine that's called the Apex engine. It's sort of our studio engine. We use it for all of our projects, so it's the same engine in Gen 0 as in Cold Wild, as in Rage 2, as in Just Cause and Mad Max and all our games. Obviously, there are differences between projects because some of them are massive budget projects and some of them are, like this one, is a smaller budget project. But it's something that it's a long-term investment of the studio, and it's sort of our baby, and we gradually improve on it.
Yeah.
But with a game like this, for instance, there's not the budget or the time to do that instant incremental changes whenever new technology comes up. But I mean, we always try to stay on the sort of front edge of technological mastery. We have such a fantastic engine team, and I'm sure they will provide awesome stuff in the engine in the future as well.
Yes. I mean, that's kind of the thing you have with an in-house engine is, you don't have like a massive team whose sole job it is just to make the engine like you might do if you use one of the off-the-shelf ones. But the benefit is we get to have our engine do just what we want it to do.
Yeah.
Like we need this thing for our game. We must do this, and it's kind of the playoff you have. But it's making beautiful, great games, as you can see those.
And it's really fantastic making beautiful open worlds that are as dynamic as we can make them, both in terms of how the environment looks, how we use them to create games, and just what happens in them. So there's really, I would say, no other engine on the market, open market, that could do what our engine can do. I know for sure that we have some technical solutions that no other game engine has. So we're kind of proud of it.
Yes, well done, engine team. They're working away hard upstairs whilst we're talking about things here. So, will there be pre-order specials, different tiers like deluxe collections, etc.? We haven't talked about that yet, but sounds like a good idea. We'll see. We'll see about that perhaps in the new year. Will be stuff to some place to store stuff that does not fit in the inventory, like safe houses, for example. Can you get a stash, I guess?
Yeah, we've definitely talked about a solution like that. It may we'll see where we end up. If it's very requested, or perhaps if we just want to do it enough, it's something that might come post launch. It probably won't be in the base game.
See, that's another important thing to remind people is, the base game isn't done, is it? We do intend to be iterating on it based upon your feedback, based upon cool ideas that the devs might have as we go forward. So if it's not there on launch day, tell me about it on social media or our forums or Discord or anywhere else, and I'll tell Emil about it, who'll tell the devs about it, and you know how it works. So yeah, do keep those requests, feedback, ideas coming.
There's definitely a sense of we want the base game to feel like a premium product. When you buy it, you should feel like you're getting a full game, and you're getting something that runs good, or runs great, is stable, and has a lot of content and value for you. But we want to just put stuff on top of that to have you enjoy it for longer.
It's like, you get the game and you think, this is awesome, I've had tons of fun in the game, but it'd be really cool if I had this. And then you get the chance to say that to us, hey, I'd like this, and then it might happen. So that's a pretty cool way of doing things, I think. How many friends can I play with in the game? Up to 3 friends, so 4 of you total. You can play with any combination between 1 and 4 people as co-op. Yeah, and otherwise, I think... Volvo chat going on, always is. You can't mention anything to do with Sweden without Volvo making an appearance, or a Kia normally. But yeah, otherwise I think that wraps us up. The VOD will of course be instantly available on Twitch, so if you missed the start, just go and watch it on Twitch, it's good to go. Otherwise, we'll probably have it up for you on YouTube tomorrow, day after, sometime soon. Screen capture mode, print screen, works great.
If you're playing Steam, it actually auto saves it to a specific folder.
That is pretty handy dandy. Otherwise, maybe we could talk more about that next year. Russian will be supported. Yeah, we're going to have various localization options for the game when it comes out. Fear not. Do you have plans for events during holidays like Xmas, Christmas? I just read it as it's written. Christmas. Or
we don't have any plans for Christmas,
Halloween.
But definitely Xmas.
Yes, there'll be an Xmas event. Christmas event or Halloween, etc. I mean, it's going to be a kind of live product. It's going to be run after its release. So
yes.
Maybe.
We are not saying anything, but it wouldn't perhaps be a complete surprise.
Okay, so there is going to be Yulmust. Awesome. But yeah, otherwise, I think that about wraps it up for us. Again, we're going to be going off on a little bit of a break for a vacation now, so we'll be back in the new year. We will probably be chatting to you on social media, but a little bit less than normal, because I will also be trying to film myself full of turkey and julskinka, Christmas ham, for those of you who don't Swedish. Well, I Swedish slightly. But otherwise, thank you very much for joining myself and Emil, our game director. And we look forward to more streams in the new year.
Yep.
Cool. Again, any questions based on the stream, hit us up on our social media. Remember to give us a follow here on Twitch or on Mixer if you're viewing us there, so you can see us when we're live next time. Forums as well, Discord, anything anywhere where you see Generation Zero written, chances are I'm on the other side of the screen reading what you write. So please do keep your thoughts, feedback, suggestions coming, as long as they're nice. Or at least well worded. Yeah, so thank you everyone. Want to say goodbye to our friends, and
we can say God Jul.
God Jul,
Gott
yes.
nytt år.
God Jul, I hope.
Catch you on the flip side.
Bye bye. Bye.